Jupiter means big, and it's joined with Uranus at the moment, which can mean a big change or change of mind. For a Hendersonville boy, a prayer vigil took place, and this energy would reflect his father's change of mind, which has everyone scratching their heads. Here's the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction overhead at the vigil. The moon in a chart represents a mother. There is a prominent mother figure in the sky map opposing Saturn, and this can show loss or death of a loved one and the overall purpose of the event. With so much Aries energy on this night, it would not be surprising that Sebastian's stepfather allegedly showed up to the vigil angry and had a private conversation with the victim's father. To everyone's shock, they compromised. This new development is a big win for law enforcement. Is this a trap? That's next on Astrology and Crime.
Hello and welcome. I'm Astrologer Val Evans. It's great to be back after a few days. I've missed you all, and a special warm welcome to my members, the valedictorians. If you're new to my channel, we look at astrological charts and tarot cards to give us clues on future events and crime. And we're once again looking at astrological clues and predictions for Sebastian Rogers and a young boy who went missing February 26th. And it has just been a mere weeks, and it seems like months. This has been so covered in the press, so many things that are happening. And have you noticed too that we get one side of the news from the traditional media, and yet there's so much drama that the YouTubers are focused on? So we will cover that a little bit. We're going to look at the Vigil chart. We've got tarot cards to see if they can guide us in any way. And we might take a look at the map a little bit based on some of the predictions that are coming up in the next 12 to 15 months. So hopefully we'll get some good predictions, and great to see everyone. Hey, Melanie, nice to see you. Crystal, SJ11. Oh gosh, I know there's a lot of things, a lot of rumors happening. Bianca, nice to see you, and ditto, great to see you, Marion. And wow, it's been a crazy week. Has anyone really felt that Aries energy? Or for me, it's Jupiter, Uranus. Jupiter is many and also a lot. And Uranus can be either a change or it can be interruptions. And that was the case for me this past week. Just one thing after another, not, and it really depends if it squares one of your natal planets or if it trines. I have a little bit of both. So just one interruption after another. So great to see all of you. It's been a very difficult, especially with Mercury retrograde. You just kind of think and overthink a lot. And it seems to be the case at this vigil. And actually, I think it's a great time to have a vigil, although there's no great time in a sense. You don't want that to have to plan one. But Mercury retrograde gets people back together again, gets them talking, gets them thinking about who saw what, maybe something somebody heard, and just overall reflecting. It's a great time to reflect. So, yeah, it's been 50 plus days. Thanks, Darlene. So many crazy. It's just, it just depends on your birth chart. Sometimes it can be incredibly lucky, and just one thing after another is so lucky. And in this vigil chart that we're going to look at, I drew it for Saturday night. It's one of a few vigils, and they're going to have another one, I hear, in 2 weeks. So one vigil after the next, and it's going to be interesting what happens. But the biggest thing that happened this past Saturday, which you can see in that intro, is that it seemed at first like a confrontation between the fathers. And some of you may have remembered way back when we were first looking at the chart that the chart was showing us Mercury, and Mercury means two, and then next to Saturn means two fathers. So it kind of predicted that we would be seeing two fathers, um, in the news. And it has gone from, debating back and forth, taking shots at one another. And it seems like that anyway. And now a possible alliance. Well, what is behind this alliance? That's what I'd like to know. Hi, Claudette. So, all right. So let me do just a quick couple of announcements. I've got my readings on sale this week. Take a look, astrology.as.me /good life. And this is a good deal. And I'm doing this only this week. And I have a new class. It's for $29 and that's in May. So make sure to sign up for it. It's a basic forensic astrology class. I'm going to go over colors and names and profiles and getaway cars and lots of really forensic analysis of charts from crime and history. So it should be pretty interesting. Tomorrow night, I am going to be looking at the weapon clue and lots of developments with the Idaho or the Moscow, Idaho case. This is the Moon and Stars edition. I know you know what I'm referring to. So more crazy updates and developments there. Okay, well, this is the Vigil chart. Now, I don't know exactly what time it was. I want to say it was maybe for 5:30 or 6 on Saturday. I don't know if any of you know, but I drew a couple of possibilities. And great, Bianca, nice to see that. And yeah, a lot of people are behind Seth in this case. He of course is Sebastian Rogers' father, and just he seems like he's not getting any sleep. However, there have been things that have been coming in where perhaps he has failed a polygraph, and the stepfather has passed a polygraph. It's kind of nuts right now. And thank you, Melanie. Yes. Okay. Darling, you think it was 6? Yeah. I think that's what I pulled. Let me see what I have here. No, I pulled it a little bit after 6, but we can go to the 6 o'clock one as well. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a couple of clues from this, and then we're going to pull a card, and you guys can help me with the cards. And 6 p.m. CST. Good to know. Thank you. And Hendersonville, is that Central Time? I'm thinking it is, but I don't think it matters because I put it in the software here and it doesn't matter. So, okay, let me get on with this. And first of all, let's do this. And this is a little bit later in the vigil. It's okay because the people are still there. And we've got a clue here. So I'm going to mark this up, just one clue, and then we're going to go to the tarot cards. A lot of people come on here and they don't care about the astrology. They don't. And that's fine. They just want some clues. They want to be able to put this puzzle together. And, we're not trying to nose into anybody's business, but we do like to look at the sky map because it's interesting to see how the sky reflects what's going on at any given moment. So I have Venus for the ascendant, for the rising sign. And that's going to be the chart ruler. So we're going to look where Venus is. Well, first of all, Venus is in this group of planets that just look so challenging. In Aries, I mean, that is anger, fire, breathing fire, and Mercury retrograde right in the middle of it. There's some kind of potentially, in my opinion, either miscommunication or disagreement about what? Venus, money, angry about money. So whose money? Well, we can't say for sure, but we have south node here. And that looks like a little horseshoe there. That's like the gasoline when it's next to. Sometimes it can be really good if it's in your birth chart. It's power. But sometimes if it's next to a retrograde planet, it's just an enhancer of something. So it can be an enhancer of a miscommunication, a huge communication. Something is going on and somebody's pissed. Now, who is pissed? Well, sometimes Aries can represent somebody who's red. Um, we can translate that how you wish. Somebody who could just be angry. And I think a big clue here, though, is Venus. Venus has to do with money, angry about something monetary. Now we've got Neptune here. Neptune represents the secret. There's somebody's got a secret, and it's in the 5th house. It has to do with the family secret. And only a few people know about it, apparently, according to this chart. So notice when you've got a stellium, this is extremely powerful. It means a lot of secrets, a lot of addictions, a lot of, we're at a vigil here. And what are we doing? We're praying. We're being religious. That's Pisces. We're trying to help. The Henderson community, think about all of those people. They're so caring. They really want to find this boy. And so that can be Pisces too, on the good side of Pisces. So also there could be some psychic energy somehow. It definitely represents that the psychics are coming out and they've got a lot of power right now. They kind of understand how this whole case is going. But before I get to the second clue, I want to pull a card. Actually, before I do that, I wanted to show you, in case you haven't seen, some of Mother's hair. Oh, that's interesting. Yes, red-faced. I know. We're going to talk about that. Okay. Old money. Yep. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to show you this clip before we get to the card. And of course, it's JRL Investigates. He's good. And let me just add. Here we go.
If you can't get on that, me and Chris are putting our differences aside. It's not about our egos. It's about finding Sebastian. Me, Chris, and Katie will begin working together. And if everybody else could just fuck off and put your egos aside.
Now, people are furious by that because it seems like, I don't know if Seth really means that on numerous fronts or was told, you're going to work with me, Chris, because the way I was told was Chris more or less like strong-armed him and yelled at him. And Seth was yelling back, but it was Chris. And then Seth calmed down and then Seth agreed with him. And then Seth comes forward and says this, and then kind of throws it. Everyone else can just F off. We're going to be working together. Now, I'm shocked on that because the perception and the way we've been seeing this whole case transpired, the actions of Chris and Katie Proudfoot at the beginning stages when Sebastian went missing, and then we have Seth Rogers. And what we've been seeing was a couple weeks into it, Seth Rogers took the initiative to go out and search while the Proudfoots would be wherever, not searching. And it seems like many of the public has gravitated around Seth, saying he's finding his son. He's trying to help. The Proudfoots aren't. Seth at the same time would go on multiple podcasts and say very bad things about Chris and Katie, about things that transpired inside their home. For instance, he talked about, Sebastian getting SA'd in the Proudfoots' home. And people felt, they felt like, hey, I want to help. I want to support. And donated a lot of money.
Okay. So I'm going to stop it there. And I'm going to just remove this for a second. Well, there's a lot here to discuss. And of course, we want to be careful. This is for entertainment purposes. And we're just trying to gauge what's going on right now in the sky and how it's affecting people. I don't know if Aries is affecting any of you, but there is just, if there's something to be angry about, you're going to be thinking about it a lot right now. And you might take action. Aries is all about taking action, which seemed to be the case on Saturday, last Saturday at the Vigil. I'm not sure if this actually happened, but why am I just hearing it from, this confrontation from limited sources? That's what I would like to know. All right. Yeah, that's a very good point. And thank you, Deborah. Yes, I did get it last week. I'm still getting through my emails, but yeah, I'm going to focus on that. I've got a few emails to get through. Thank you so much for sending that. And yeah, Aries, it's a lot. It's too much. And Bianca, you said I've had to send an extremely long, respectful email to my boss. Yeah, so people are having to deal with fighting and open enemies and war. This is war. And sometimes it's out in the open. So I'd like to know from the card tonight, from the cards, what is this confrontation about? According to the cards, and, we'll see if we can get to the bottom of why there would be such a big fight. I have an idea. I have a theory about it. Okay. Yes. Well, whenever I hear you people, I get those people out of here. Now, what is the whole reason for this confrontation? And the reason for that is, we want to know if there's some kind of an indicator of if it has anything to do with where Sebastian is or what happened to him. Okay. Ooh. All right, we've got one falling out here, and that would be the Fool. Ooh, the Fool. All right, so that's actually it is. Let me turn it around. Upside down. It's actually right side up for me. Hold on 1 second. There you go. Oops. I don't know why it's doing that to me. Here we go. All right, so it's right side up. The Fool. The Fool can mean fortune. It can also mean the beginning. Yes, Darlene, it's the beginning of something. So, yeah, that's a possibility. That's a possibility. I think a lot of people think that. And that's not saying, anybody is guilty here, but maybe someone knows information. Bianca, possibly. All right, so let me get a clarifying card as to the Fool and what it could possibly mean when it comes to this vigil. Can you clarify if this fight is having to do with something that Sebastian is part of, or if it can give us some kind of a clue as to this mystery? Oh, hey, Roberto. Nice to see you. Okay, could be SJ11. Good morning. All right. Yes, South Africa. You must have nice sunrises over there. All right. Here we go. This is a clarification card to the vigil and why the confrontation. Melanie, you say the fool can be a simpleton or someone who is seen as such. Oh, yes. Or getting into something where the person is a fool and should stay away. There are two sides to this, just like with planets. Jupiter could be too much or could be good fortune. So it just depends. So if we're talking about a simpleton, an opportunity, can you clarify what this opportunity is? Okay. Oh boy. This is a reversed hangman. Wow. Okay, it's actually that way. So, reverse hangman. So maybe someone unhanging themselves, getting out of trouble? Could that be possible? Yeah, I know. I think everybody is. And is it true? Is it authentic? Oracle, you say risk taking. Okay. Stalling. Interesting. A stalling. Bianca, we're gonna look at that. I believe so, and you're saying that because this person, the fool, is right over the water, and the person in this card is kind of dangling over the water. So, really great read on that. That could be a really good clue. Let's get one more card. Will the police, will law enforcement benefit from this alliance? I should say alleged alliance. And it is a reverse 9 of cups. Okay. Reverse 9 of cups. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. There's not a lot of options here. So maybe a reflection that this might have some kind of separate connotation. Long red hair. Oh, very interesting. Okay. Hey, Toy. Nice to see you. I think when the rivers start to go down, a lot of things are going to surface. Absolutely. We also have Saturn is about to go visible, if it isn't already. And that, I think, in the next couple of days is going to bring to light something. So maybe something that has to do with father energy. I don't know. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the chart again, and this is the Vigil chart. Melanie, you say reversed hangman could be not willing to make sacrifices. Okay. So we're going to have to ponder that for a second, and let me just grab. One sec. Okay. All right. So we got, before we go to clue number 2, I got something else here. Okay. We've got Pluto here, and we can see that. Yeah, I just circled Pluto. Yes, also a water card. Money expectations not met. Yes, Gemini's a big one. And you'll notice on the thumbnail that we've got 2 fathers that have similar features. So we want to look at that clue. That is a big, big clue here. There's usually when there's Gemini, it means two things that look alike. And sometimes it's not just one pair, sometimes it's another pair. So there could be, another homicide that was similar. And I believe there was one that weekend, not in Tennessee though. And that's another show altogether. Yes. Yep. You can see a kite there. There's some energy going in, but it's kind of tilted downwards towards the fifth house of family. So it's kind of pointing to the family. There's a lot of family energy, but let's face it, this is the fifth house. There are going to be a lot of families at this vigil, and they're emotional. Look at, we saw pictures of people crying and being very emotional, which of course Pisces is. So that's going to be one marker for this, one uh, significant event. But we have, the chart ruler is Venus, but we also have Sun, which can also represent a father figure, and Pluto. And Sun square Pluto is a power struggle. So it seems as if there's some kind at this vigil power struggle. Now, what is it about? Well, Aquarius is online. Aquarius is very fast things. And it's a lot. 2 degrees, that's a Taurus degree. That is money. And I just, there's nothing that gets people more heated. Number one, when it comes to the safety of a loved one, of course. But number two is money. And notice at around, it's about 6:30 here. We have got the 8th house is right on Algol, also the chart ruler. So the 8th house is at this moment ruled by the devil, Algol. Venus here in Aries. Somebody, what happens when something's in Algol? It means somebody loses their head. Sometimes it can be literally, and somebody can be actually beheaded. That's the worst one. But other times it's just, blowing off steam and just having a hard time. But yet, is this a clue? And why do I say that? Uranus and Jupiter is changing course. Somehow there is harmony here at this vigil between some people. Why do we say that? Because of this blue line. Now, I'm going to talk openly here because, some of you are going to criticize and say, look, don't give them any ideas. Don't tell them what's going to happen. But guess what? They don't look at astrology channels. They think this is silly stuff. So we can talk openly. They don't believe it anyway. It's fine. I don't normally say that, but I can't help it this time because we have got law enforcement here. I think there might have been some plainclothes law enforcement officers here. And of course they would, because if there was somebody that the family didn't recognize, it's very, very often and common for a perpetrator to stalk one of these vigils. So of course they're there. But this change of heart here, Uranus and Jupiter, is benefiting these officers. Something is happening here. And what is this? This is a mother figure with Black Moon Lilith, a mother figure who has a secret. Now, I'm not saying it's anybody in particular, but it's just what's reflected in this chart. And it's the 11th house of community. So this mother is in the middle of this community here. And this opposition is a mother who's extremely upset. Opposition to Mars. That is a really pissed off woman. She's mad. Whoever that is, she is extremely mad. All right, so we've got the opposition, but we've got this big L. This is the point of Thales. So let's just say, indulge me here for a second, if this was a police officer, and there's a sextile to Uranus here. Uranus is DNA, it's evidence, It is online money. Venus, Uranus and Jupiter in Taurus, the Venus ruled sign, means a lot of money. Guys, this is a lot of money. Okay. And there's money coming from somewhere, and they're able to see where this money is. That's that sextile there. They're either able to see that money is being incurred, um, but they're also able to see what is done with this money. So they're able to look at online accounts, I think, and be able to look and see what's going on with this mother figure. So I really think that this is a clue for us, that there is some kind of monetary clue that is kind of the basis for all of this fervor, this fever of just getting what one wants. And hopefully I don't get in trouble for saying any of this, but I mean, Uranus, Jupiter, that's a lot of money. In Taurus, that's GoFundMe to me, I think. All right. So I want to go to the cards again, and then we're going to go to Sebastian's solar return calendar. And you know what? It's a good question. I don't know. Anything mentioned of Sebastian, they were taking down channels and putting them back up. Well, there's certainly a lot of change. Thank you for mentioning that, because Uranus is constantly changing, constantly turning off, turning on. I mean, that's the energy that I got this past week. I had people coming into town. I had tasks I needed to do. I had my readings. I had to take people from point A to point B. And then I had to unexpectedly go to point B and bring them back to point A. And it was just never being able to sit still. And yeah, I'm just reading here. So yeah, Darlene, just going off of what you were saying, it is a big change. So it would not surprise me if there were things that were changed. I mean, it's possible that Sebastian's location could have changed, but I don't want to get into that yet. Does Lilith have red hair? It's not always. I see Lilith often have dark hair, but if Lilith is trining Mars, yes. So very good point though about, let's go back here. We're talking about a redhead here. We're talking about a woman with red hair because of Aries. This is a woman who may not feel like she can speak right now. Mercury is, having or a different alternative way of speaking, not being able to directly speak the way she wants to. All in this sixth house. This might have something to do with a workplace. So that could be a clue. That could definitely be a clue. Now, another thing too is North Node. That's a lot of talking and a lot of gossiping too. Mercury is to gossip. Retrograde, which is what it is, gossiping about the past, gossiping about a woman with red hair. That's a possibility. Hopefully, people wouldn't do that in the Henderson community. They're focused on Sebastian, they're focused on prayer. And, these vigils I really believe work. But it's hard when there's what seems to be a family divided. Are they divided still? Well, maybe they're coming together. They are putting away this power struggle, which is right here. It's so prominent in this chart. And what's the power struggle about? It's about control. It's about Aquarius, which is the future. It's the internet. It's very, very fast things. But when the fourth house for anybody, when it's in Aquarius, it means a division of the home. Yet you can see this woman here. This is This is the moon, and the woman is I think instrumental. You can see moon here, and it is trining Pluto. So you guys know what the moon means. The moon is fame. And you put a trine with Pluto in there, that is famous. Very, 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 very famous. You got a sextile to all of this Pisces stuff. I'm afraid to say. This looks like a famous, the name Johnny Cash comes up. Cash, money, because we're talking about money. Maybe part of this kite because of Taurus is money. But also Pisces it's an artist. It is a super famous artist. That's a man, Mars. So could a person like Johnny Cash, which would be named after something, some kind of landmark, could that be some kind of clue? You can see with the oppositions and the squares that there are people trying to stop something. So if we were to look at who's trying to stop what, we would look at Pluto and the sun first. Pluto represents Scorpio, and that is the second house of money. Okay, so that gives us another clue. This could be a financial power struggle. And if you're trying to find this show in the future, it's going to be on my members page because we don't want this to get out. But this looks like financial stuff, financial between something that has to do with this case. What's the financial issue? And so much money. Now, I've got more to add to that with another chart. I'm going to go, and here's April 20th. This is the Vigil, just so that you can see a little more clearly. This is Uranus and Jupiter. This is a big, big, big change. And you can see how it affects whoever this Mars person is. This could be police. And with part of fortune right next to the police officer, it shows success. So there's going to be some tracking. Uranus is tracking. But let's take a look at Sebastian's solar return chart for 2025. Now, I know you're going to think this is silly, but there's a big, big clue here. And it means a lot of money. Oh, toy. Thank you. Yes. So, okay. Sebastian loves Taylor Swift. Another, and everyone says she's not a Leo, but she's a Leo. She's a South Node in Leo. So she's very comfortable in her Leo ways. Okay. Thanks, Angel of Light. Yes. Yeah. A lot of, Trisha, we're going to keep talking, so you didn't miss much. I'll try to go back and reiterate some things. But Darlene, there had been word of the Seth sisters started a GoFundMe for Seth, I think. Now, let's be clear about something. Let's be clear about GoFundMes. I have worked with families who are looking for their missing children, or they're fighting the police because the police are basically classifying the case as accidental, and it clearly isn't. And it is so expensive to continue a case when you don't have any support. So there is a need for private investigators. There is a need for the family to have money. And especially what happens, many lose their jobs because they can't work. They're busy looking for their son or daughter. They need an infusion of money. So that's what this these charts definitely reflect, but it shows that they're getting a lot of support. So, yes. Okay. Yeah, I know. I saw that. This is Sebastian's, and we can look at someone if they're vanished. We can look at their next year chart, but this looks like somebody. I mean, the ascendant is in Libra, and that means a couple with Black Moon Lilith, which means shady. Could mean a shady couple is right over the ascendant represents his name. Okay. It can represent what is being said about Sebastian. But it seems as if he's still being talked a lot or talked about a lot because of that trine to Jupiter in Gemini there. And I'm going to mark it up in 1 second, but look at that fourth house. And it is a huge, huge, let me put it in red. You see how Mars, this is a successful person with Leo qualities. Okay. And look, this is the downfall. And we're all going to have one of these. Look at your life. Look at all your solar return charts. Find the most challenging, and you're probably going to see an opposition or a T-square, which this has, both of them. And this is in Sebastian's chart. You can still see clues about his life next year. So we have a T-square, okay, and Saturn in Pisces can often show that a father figure disappears or vanishes or wants to vanish and can't because of this T square in the fifth house of family. So this is family despair. And Saturn and Moon together mean a depression, a very sad time for a family. Yet, what is this up here? This is a guy, and he is falling down on a big pile of money. Venus is, this could also be another clue here. Venus means female, one female. You put Pluto here, this is 1,000 females, and it's right on Aquarius. So this could mean a lot of women online who are bringing this person down for some reason, whoever it is. And the person has Leo qualities. It's very interesting if you look at Venus and Pluto. All right, here's another clue in my mind. Trining Uranus, 8th house, okay? We have, this is like rich. This is wealth, okay? And there is a mini grand trine here to Neptune. This is a river. This is a river. So let's see. I think, wasn't he born in January? Can't remember. Do so many of these. Okay. December 7th. So now we go to now this is his 2024 calendar, which is in Leo. That's his chart ruler this year. Lots and lots of Leo. This case has a lot of Leo. Why does it have a lot of Leo? Well, because Henderson, anything with sun, any name with sun is Leo. We have Proudfoot. Proud is Leo. Leo, the family is pride, a pride. So much Leo. And I think that could be some type of a clue. Doesn't really reflect the guilt of anyone. But yes, thank you, Martian Planet. Really, I get that way too. Sometimes I get sick. But now with this 2025 chart, we are like, who are all of these women? Like, okay, so let's go back to this 2025 chart. Okay, so if this is now December, okay, January, February, March. This is going to happen March 2025. Okay, I mean, if we have his birth information correct, this will be happening in March 2025. This is when it starts to get warmer, maybe in Tennessee. And this is when, now, the other thing that you have to do is you have to take Mars and you add it to Pluto and Venus. So this could be a very, very angry person that has to do with money. I got to say, this, when I look at this future chart here, it kind of reminds me of a Greek tragedy, just like with Idaho, how people are so, whoever it is, are so addicted to something. They have desires of something. I think I know what it is. And it pulls that person down, whoever did this to Sebastian. So, we hope that it's nobody that Sebastian knows. We hope that it's somebody, that it's nobody that he just got lost, that he just ran away and he doesn't want to come back, where he's still safe, in other words. But what is this, you guys? This is a lot of money. And it is trining Uranus, which is online from the 8th house. This is something that has to do with somebody else's money, and it's going into this home. I mean, maybe 4th house is home, right? But could it show where Sebastian is? Because Sebastian, for 2025, starting in December 7th, okay, his chart ruler is in the 4th house. This means that this is still activated in December. It doesn't necessarily mean that we have to wait till March, but the ruler is down here. So could that mean sometimes these houses, like, they work together, where December means a ton of money is generated, and by March, somebody's downfall happens because of that money. But I mean, when you've got a chart with Venus and Pluto like that, like, they are partile. That is super, super strong. And it is water. It is water. It is a river because of Aquarius. And there's fighting. There is a lot of fighting. There's so much fighting. They don't know what to do with themselves, whoever's fighting about it. Now, the 8th house. The 8th house for both years is going to be very, very significant, because the 8th house rules murderers. And for Sebastian's calendar this year, that's going to be July 7th to August 7th. Okay. Ugh. I hope he is alive. I really do. I look at this and I get so, so upset and sad. Now, this 8th house is in Aquarius again. Okay. And so what would rule? Now, we do say the 7th house also rules the open enemy or the perpetrator, but this isn't a crime chart. I like to look at the 7th and the 8th houses. So the 8th house will look at how Saturn is in the 8th house. That's someone who played a father figure to him. Okay. And this is going to be really, first of all, July 7th to August 7th, pivotal month for this case. But I also have marked Pluto. Pluto, okay, this is between May 7th and June 7th. This is another pivotal month. You guys see that Pluto, right? All right. Well, as soon as May 7th and June 7th come in, Pluto squares Venus in Scorpio. Now, you guys might think that this is somebody who you think you know as the murderer, if there was a murder. But Venus is in Scorpio. Now, this could be other people's money, okay? And Pluto can mean investigators, might be private investigators. The sixth house is the enemy house to the seventh house. But anyway, I'm going to get into the weeds doing that. Pluto, let's look at this. Pluto is in a T square, okay? And the reason, is it? No, it's not in a full T square, but it's got two squares here. What does that mean? That means that as soon as the sixth house activates between May 7th and June 7th, this Pluto activates and it squares, or there's an octile here. It's a bad aspect to these people, and it's in Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius mean? It means big guys, okay? Two big guys. Now, we're not saying who those are. Between April 7th and May 7th, we saw big guys. They were talking, they were heated. They joined forces, apparently. But then May 7th and June 7th comes around. And there is a huge, huge problem. There is something that's going to happen. And if we say that it's investigators, Pluto investigators, because it represents Scorpio, and that's the investigators, notice there's some good news. Look at how there is a trine to part of fortune. This means that investigators are successful in something. So you would have thought that between February 7th and March 7th that would have been the case, because that's activating. And there's a possibility they might have collected some evidence that helped the case. But it's really, really prominent between May 7th and June 7th. So mark your calendar and, keep me accountable. Remind me that I said this. I'll mark it down too. I really think there's going to be a major development coming up here. And there's a square with this Venus. I wonder if somebody is shutting off some kind of financial channel there. I think that's a possibility. Okay. I know everybody's questioning. Oh, hey, Angel D. Yes, I know the notifications are a big pain in the neck. You remember hearing Chris say he didn't want Sebastian around his daughter. I think I read something about that, but I'm not sure. Everybody's talking about that motorcycle, and we do see motorcycles here. Mars, and usually Mars and Aquarius is like a fast bike, but Mercury has to come into the picture because Mercury is a small bike. And let me see if I see that here. Oops. All right. Aries can represent things with motors. Mercury in Aries could be a red car or a vehicle with some kind of a red color on it. And let's see here. North Node is a desire. Okay, so a desire for some kind of vehicle, a small vehicle. But I would prefer to see Pluto aspecting. Wait a minute. Mars. Here we go. Mars is metal. Okay. And you've got a sextile to Pluto. These are actually, it doesn't necessarily mean one bike. It means like a lot of bikes. So there's a possibility that there's, a a perusal of a lot of bikes. Also could mean somebody's planning, maybe a biker type of vigil. That's like lots and lots of bikes. So we're going to see this is a theme here. These motorcycles are coming in somehow. And let me see here. Got Uranus. Trying to see if I can see a bike here. This is his. It's not really in Sebastian's soul return. Could be in the crime chart. I would have to pull the crime chart again. But we do want to see, Mercury and Mars for the bikes. I think it's kind of wild that between April 7th and May 7th, okay, in Sebastian's solar return calendar or chart, you can see two men, and they are big men here. And they both have a common goal. In Mars, this is lots of heat, lots of ambition for something. Now, the ninth house is the press. So maybe they are doing something to get some benefits, maybe get the word out for Sebastian. They're trying to put their differences aside from what is being told to us. But look at how these two guys, now this is another thing too, squaring Pluto. This is a lot of anger and jealousy. Somebody, it seems, in my mind and in my opinion, but this is entertainment purposes only, it looks as if there's some kind of jealousy about something. And isn't it interesting how Sebastian's second house of assets is ruled by the sun? I mean, you've got to think about this in his charts. His second house is the GoFundMe. This is the money that he is making. So, of course, that topic has to be coming up right now, and there's a fight about it. I think this is a pretty, and I think everybody else kind of is on this train of thought that there is a possibility that this fighting might have to do with that GoFundMe or various GoFundMes or who has the GoFundMe. I really feel that that's part of it, and that the police, okay, thank you, Lucy. The police, oh, wow, I didn't see that. Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy? It's a total pile of cash in that chart. But that's 2025. We got to wait a little while. And we're looking at predictions of the sky. We're not necessarily trying to judge people. We are all energy, and we're carrying out our own. I mean, we do have some kind of, you know, there are possibilities that some years, and I don't think it's every year, that we do have a choice. But sometimes we're just part of this crazy plot that you blink your eye, you do something wrong, and then it's like, oh my God, what did I do? I think that's a possibility that happens in our lives. So Bianca, man, I just threw some cards. The Empress, then Lovers Reverse flew out. I asked if he was alive. I don't know. 4 of Coins is one. Okay, interesting. Okay, CP has scheduled a biker rally. Supposedly that's what they're doing at the bike shop. Okay. Well, then there we go. And these people, they don't necessarily have a lot of press experience. So, if they had maybe a press rep, they would have said, let me just give a call to the bike shop. You shouldn't be going in there because, the optics aren't so good. So we have to give them the benefit of the doubt, innocent until proven guilty. Uh, I'll bet you there is going to be some kind of big bike rally for him. So, okay. Oh, see, I didn't even know that. Thank you, Stormy. Okay. So that's what's happening then. So they're planning that. But Mars is also anger about something. This is a big fundraiser right now. And it is all for Sebastian, and Sebastian is his spirit is bringing in this cash. So it's going to be really interesting to find out if it will help. I think it could potentially be something, and nobody's going to listen to this. I think this could be a trap. I really do. Maybe not right now, but there could be some kind of, maybe it's not a trap, but some kind of insight into where the money is being spent that is incoming to certain parties. Thanks, psychic medium Roberto. Okay, so Miss Kate, hang on. Seth said he has a PR and the PI is a victim's advocate. Okay, Seth, but not the Proudfoots who, walked into the biker shop. So I question why they want to help after almost 2 months he's been missing. Melanie, you say the more money someone has, the less anyone else can control them or the narrative. Yes. Well, a lot of people are scrutinizing some of these players in this terrible drama, real life drama, over how they can afford such an expensive house. But these, we've got a dual income here. And I think that it could be an avenue that the police might look at. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Okay. Um, I think they made their bed and laid in it, making some money allegedly. Okay. So what we're going to do is really just consider that this is, and for a good purpose, we hope, this is a money making operation. There's a lot of fiery performances here. And I think that it was a moment at that vigil where there was an agreement because it had to do with joining forces in order to generate, support. Let's just say that. I know it is. I know it is. I think in the chaos of everything, and with Mercury retrograde, a lot of, especially with all of those planets in Aries. Now, when you have a lot of planets in Capricorn, for instance, and Mercury retrogrades in the middle, you have a lot of snow. You've got a lot of backups. A lot of people are just going crazy. They're stuck. But when you've got that collection in Aries, it's something different. It represents a lot of metal, a lot of things stopping, being chaotic, pileups, and sometimes accidents too, because people aren't operating their vehicles correctly. Maybe angry drivers too. Lots and lots of angry drivers on the road. So you got to be careful. Hey, Emily, nice to see you. Okay, so you heard CP sued a company for 1 million. Ah, interesting. Okay. Thanks, Angel D. Hey, Taurus Moon Tarot. Well, we didn't miss this next part because I'm going to pull some cards. First of all, I'm going to pull I'm going to use my astrology cards for a second. And I'm going to find out what is next, what's next in this chapter, and how we can determine if there's anything we can do to help Sebastian. Maybe that's what we should really be asking. We should ask, where is Sebastian? What can we do to find him? Give us a clue. Okay. Yes, allegedly. Yes. Okay. All right. Now, what can we do to find Sebastian? Let's see what this next card is. This is an astrology card. What's the biggest clue? All right. And it is fourth house roots. Oof. I just got to chill. Taurus. Taurus Moon Tarot. Taurus is money. Taurus is the woods, although I don't think that is necessarily exact. I mean, it could be the woods, but it's water. Oh, thank you, Emily. And yeah, wow. Fourth house is home. So a woods by the home. And then look at all of that. That's a nice card. So this is the clue, the fruit from the tree. I can't believe I pulled that. That's crazy. You think he's buried? I know. Me too, Bianca. Yeah, it's crazy. Family roots. Yet. Okay, let's, Taurus Moon Tarot. This is Amber. Yep, in his home. Amber, you always tell me to pull a clarifying card. So I'm going to do that. Can you give us some clarification? I got the chills so bad right now. It's so weird. Can you give us some kind of clarification on where to find Sebastian? Interesting. Reverse void of course moon. And it says missing, so I'll turn that up. But this was reversed. Well, let's see. The moon was void around the time he went missing. Not exactly though. So maybe that's a clue that he went missing right as, the moon was either coming in or out of a void. So it could give us a time frame maybe. But what I've learned from these cards just in the short time I've been doing the cards, it's so literal, just like the astrology card or just like the astrology charts. I mean, you can go as esoteric as you want and general as you want, but this is some practical stuff here. Like we might be looking at something that has to do with a name, like Moon Avenue, that's a silly example, but hmm. Oh my God, Moon is home. So it just keeps giving us home. Wow. What does the fruit tree? I mean, maybe the fruits of, of this case. Natalie, nice to see you. I think it happened at home and it's not near the home anymore. It was moved. Okay. Could be a reveal coming. That's a good one. Thanks, Amber. Yes. Moon is also mom. Thank you, Psychic Sleuth. I'm just the roof. Yeah. Well, there's so much Aquarius, and Aquarius does mean up high and can mean, airports as well. But this is crazy. All right. So I'm going to go to the tarot cards for a second. And can I just get some kind of clue with regard to this? If it's a biker fundraiser, what is going to come out of this biker fundraiser? Can this help? Can you give us some kind of clue about the fundraiser, the bike fundraiser? that allegedly some of the parents or authority figures are putting on. Let me see what you're saying here. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure they have. They must. Really, Darlene, that would, of course, this is all allegedly. Um, that's a good question, Jackie. And something to really consider too, because, we look at money and we say, oh, well, that must mean that someone wants to take this money or take that money. But sometimes money can represent things like where it's coming from and where it's, if it's going to stop or not. And it doesn't really indicate guilt necessarily. Oh, great question. Thank you, Amber. All right. So what is Sebastian around right now? What does the current environment for Sebastian look like? Gosh, it's hard. It's hard to pull cards for that. Okay. Wow. 4 of Wands. What do you make of that? This is some kind of a celebration. This could be a place where there's an amusement park. This could be a place where a festival is, a place where music is. Well, this is Nashville. We got this for Riley Strain, remember? And so it was kind of like saying, okay, you're close, So it's close. It's close to Nashville. Okay, well, we kind of already knew that. What else should I ask? Yeah. Okay, money is coming out. Secrets. Shady, it's a good question. Okay. Wait, what is a home? 4 of Wands is a home because of the 4? Whoa. Okay. We're looking at close to home. Okay. So can you give us an idea of a clue for a name of the street where Sebastian is near? Now I'm really getting the chills. Name of a street where Sebastian is currently, right now, April 22nd, 2024. Ace of Cups, upright. Ace of Cups, upright. Okay. Well, let's look at, it's not going to kill us. Let's just look at the map. I know, I am too. Yes, I'm getting, and we did say Johnny Cash. Okay. All right. So let's look at the map and let's keep these. I don't know why I feel like I want to cry. Like, it's, of course it's sad, but it's like this flood that's coming out. Okay. Oh, Pisces. I hate it. All right. So let me pull up this map. By the way, I get Red River too. Which is not close to the home. So I get that in, maybe that just means a clue. I don't know. But let me share this tab. Second. All right, I'm going to keep the cards up. Red River Road. Okay. Red Bridge. Yeah, we're getting a lot of red, Okay. Let me concentrate. And So it was kind of giving us that, because remember we were looking kind of west and going towards Memphis. But is there a possibility he could have been moved? Um, All right, so we're going to look at Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups means friendship. So it could be the name of something that's called friendship. It could mean water, right? Like Water Street. Because cups is, it's like I can't even talk. I'm like so emotional right now. It's so weird. Okay. Let's see here. Hendersonville's here. I mean, it's such a big area, guys. I mean, I can't. We'd be here all night looking for Water Street, but I guess I could just pull up Water Street. I mean, that would be one way. Okay. Water Street. Hendersonville? Henderson, sorry. Henderson, Tennessee. No, it's Hendersonville. Sorry. Doesn't look like there's one. Where the hell am I? Jesus. Okay, this is not even in the right state. Hold on. I don't think there's a Water Street. Okay, but still, we've got the home of Johnny Cash. That seems to be a clue to me. Let's look around there. See, so there's streets like River Chase. And they've already looked around these areas. I mean, this is a big, big area. Kind of, for some reason, there's a flash in my mind of Scott Peterson. I don't know why, because he failed in what he tried to do when it came to a body of water. Will that happen? I wonder. In this case, we hope and pray not. But, Hendersonville really is, I mean, it's a suburb of Nashville. So it is considered, I think, Nashville. But, I get west, sort of like west-east axis. Let's see what you guys are saying. Whoa, Waterville Drive. Wow. Okay, Red River Bridge Road. Okay, I will. Red. Wow. Oh my God. Wait. No. That brings us down to. Okay, so that's west of the airport. I wonder when we're getting Gemini. Isn't it wild too that we're seeing Gemini in this chart as the two fathers, because Mercury in the crime chart is next to Saturn, so two dads that look alike. And they might not say that they look alike, but they still have the same features, like the goatee and everything. So this is, I mean, Gemini would be another murder too. So, but I can't imagine someone would go into Nashville for this from a suburb. So that doesn't, I think you might be talking about an actual Red River Bridge though. Is it in Hendersonville? No, there's a green bridge. All right, I think I might need the cards again. Is there Love's gas station truck stop? Oh, would that be Ace of Cups? That's not a bad clue. That to me is shady as hell. I'm sorry. I'm just going to have to say it. You know, when you don't want to be, you don't want the world to hear the 911 call. It just, I mean, maybe his sister told him that you're going to get better service if you call the non-emergency number. Let's give benefit of the doubt there. I know, Darlene. Twin, I know. Twin, there's something about the twins. Would overlaying the chart over the map do anything? Yeah, we could use scribble maps and do that another time. That might be a good idea. Thank you, Maria. Okay, Red River Road in Gallatin, where CP Mom lives. Okay. That would be east. Let's take a look. All right. Let's see here. Yep, here it is, right here. And it goes down here. It's possible. Red River Road, right here. Not really a lot of great places, though. Well, why don't we ask the cards? Is Sebastian near Red River Road in Gallatin? Let's do that. See what we get. Okay, Judgment. And it's upright. Would that be a clue? Would there be something that has to do with judgment or something Libra related, maybe near Red River? Can you give us some kind of a? I mean, that to me says yes. Yes. Because if it would have to be a reversed card most of the time to be a no. So if it is near, if we're looking at a clue near Red River Road, sometimes it's not the victim, sometimes it's just a clue. What else should we look for? What else are we missing here that we need to know that's near Red River Road in Gallatin? Okay, and this is 8 of Swords reversed. That is being bound, really, not being able to get out. So what do you guys think of that? It seems to be a place. Well, when it's reversed, I don't know. I mean, this is a clue for a location. So it's something that has to do with the location. Like that could almost be like the word independence, because if it's reversed, it's kind of gaining independence. Thanks, Toy. Okay. Okay, interesting. Thank you. Oh, this is interesting. I went driving on the maps and there's a large red bridge you cross over, plenty of space and time to jump out and drop and roll on out. Gemini Athletics. Interesting. Thank you. There's a Luna Lane. Okay. Natalie, you're saying he's hours away from home. And, that could be possible. And we're just looking at maybe an area that there's just a clue that can help us. Maybe a person who lives near this area. But Natalie, I wouldn't doubt it, because remember we were hearing how very early on how there was a 3-hour phone call. And the phone call was between the Proudfoots, and they wanted to know why there was that 3-hour phone call. And everybody was guessing that it's 3 hours from Hendersonville, apparently, to Memphis. So what does that say? Miss K, on the way to Waterville Drive, there's a River Valley Drive to Nashville from the family home. Thank you, Maria. Okay. Yeah, I know. How about the body of water? Exactly. Like, I really think that he is near a large body of water here. Thanks, Toy. Twin is going to help us. Also, Leo is going to help us. So much Leo. So we're talking about the sun. We're talking about, 4 of Wands. Something where something is hot. What time? I'm going to draw a chart right now. What time do you think I should draw a chart? Because, you really have to trust the time. If somebody's calling something in and you don't trust that person, the timestamp isn't going to work so well. Exactly. Fire is Leo. Toy, you say 6:33. Ring of Fire. Okay. There's something called a Red River Court. Yeah, Toy, you're funny. Is there a dam? Kelly, you say, I feel strongly he's hidden somewhere they used to visit when he was younger, like a park or special fishing spot. Seth knows where he went, meaning that Seth knows the park that he likes. Oh my God, and maybe because of the 4 of Wands there, that's where they used to have fun. And look, there's a tent. People are camping. Camp is a big, big clue here. Okay, Toy, dispatch was 6:39. Toy, I want you to look at the 6:33 because I think Jupiter has changed houses, but I have to pull it again to make sure. Natalie, you said his stepdad was 3 hours and 37 minutes away from home. Now they've left and gone to Mississippi. He's in a spot on the way somewhere, familiar place. Okay. He meaning Sebastian. Home of the Ring of Fire, Johnny Cash. Darlene, it's a good question. Melanie, would there be something in the chart that showed he crossed a boundary like a state line? It would be the 9th house. 9th house would show a long distance. Psychic Roberto, you say a familiar place. So Ring of Fire, you guys, I think we're on to something here. Ring of Fire, the fire, Proudfoot is such a clue in this because it represents Leo and Pisces. Foot is Pisces. Proud is Leo. So Leo, Pisces types of things. Not saying anything that, shows that the stepdad has anything to do with it, but it's such a prominent name. It almost gives us some kind of indicator of the energy, the elements that are involved. Thank you. That is amazing. That is truly amazing. Okay. Yep, a park. What time did mom call the stepdad? Excuse me. All right, so let's just do 6:39, and I'm going to pull that up, and I'll show it in a second. So that was February 26th. And I want to pull it for earlier, but so let's say 6:36. Hendersonville. Now, I do think that alcohol is going to come out in this, and we talked about that one before. February 26th, 6:36 a.m. Okay. I've seen this chart before. And now I'm going to share it. Okay, Emily, I'm with you. 4 Wands is Leo. Okay, so Toy, the Ring of Fire Trail stretches from Nashville across the gorgeous Cumberland Plateau and back again. Oh, great. The 2 cards are Leo and Pisces. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. Indian Lake Village Water Tower. Psychic Roberto, the familiar place is a holy building nearby, like a church, hospital, or school. We were looking at that before, I think. All right, so Pisces. And this is around the victim. This is the victim, this ascendant, this rising sign. So that's why the 6:36 isn't my favorite, because I feel like he's already there at that point. And he's in the water. I mean, it is a good chart in that sense, because we can see what's happening now. Neptune is representative of the victim, and it's opposing the moon. So he's away from home, and there is an opposition with a mother figure of some sort. In Virgo, this is white clothing. This is somebody in white clothes, because Virgo is clothing. And there's a trine to Pluto here. A mother figure goes towards Aquarius for some reason. There's a sparring with the victim, and then she goes the easiest route, which is an Aquarius area, which could be near the airport. The mother figure could be driving towards some kind of airport. Look at the 7th house. The 7th house has so many planets in it. It's like more than one person seems to be knowledgeable about this. And Virgo it has to do with pets. It has to do with, like I said, clothing. It has to do with the routine. Okay. So what's on the perpetrator's mind at this moment, 6:36? Well, we'll go to the 3rd house. And the 3rd house is Scorpio. So that's Pluto. This is something very famous, as you can see. Pluto is trining moon. That means very, 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 very famous. And the mother figure would become very, very, very famous. Psychic sleuth sounds kind of like our chart. I think we use 330 and it validates moon going to where she's from. Yeah, I like the 330 chart, even though we have not validated whether it's, a valid chart yet. But you think 4 people. Okay. You're saying leaning towards a church. A viewer suggested St. Jude's Hospital. Okay, let's go there. Now, this kind of reminds me of Caleb in Texas, too, because there's so much Pisces there. And Pisces is a hospital. So there is a possibility that he's near a hospital. Okay, wait a second. Let me make sure that I am showing you this. Here we go. All right. All right, let's look. Yeah. Allegedly, Amber 1, Chris had said to Seth, if you go to church, maybe you would find your son. Oh my God. He also suggested to a lady online to search Stop 30 Road, which the road ends at a church. It has stuck with me. Interesting. So a church and a hospital. Okay. Anything show concrete rebar? Well, concrete is Saturn. Iron is Saturn. And it's in Pisces, so it's right in front of him. Okay. Okay. So we're thinking that it's near the hospital in Memphis. Yet we're still getting that clue that there's a clue that's close. Okay. All right. So let's look at this for a second. Pisces is hospital, and 1, 2, 3. You know what's really weird? Oh my God. The 3rd house is what's on the victim's mind, and it's in Taurus. Taurus can show a something that has to do with the neck or the head. This is algal, and what's really interesting too is the 4th house is in Gemini, which means 2 homes or 2 homes that look alike. That could be a clue. Because of Neptune opposing Moon, this shows that home disappears. Okay. Neptune is disappear, but it also means mother disappears or disappears from the mother. The 12th house is the hidden enemy to the victim. And what is ruling that? And that's Uranus here. But you can also look in the 12th house as well. Looks like there's a couple of hidden enemies there. And Mercury, which is the perp, it is right behind Sebastian. So, and Mercury is 2. I'm afraid to say that sextile Jupiter means that they have They might have money. Jupiter and Taurus, they have money. He, she, or they have money. Oh, wow. Yep, that is Gemini. Interesting. A very good clue, I think. They're building 2 buildings. Okay. I think he's in the concrete at the hospital. That certainly would be, if that's the case. I mean, and all we're doing is really, or siblings home, yeah. All we're really doing is just coming up with your ideas and, entertainment purposes only. I hate to say it like that, but Natalie, you're saying left side of his head. I remember getting a nasty, nasty sharp pain in my head when you did his first read. Yep. So that would be algol. That would be above the neck. And also algol is above the right eyebrow. And it can show when somebody can also has problems with, when something happens to them, they become debilitated or disabled. So, okay, so hang on one second. I'm going to pull up another chart. Hold on. Okay, sorry. I had to hydrate. Okay, Martian. Remember we pulled the Sun card last stream, and Sun is hospital children's ward. That's right. And we were talking about the Sun was his body. And yeah, we were talking about a few things there. There's head trauma, I guarantee it. Interesting. And Natalie, you've been right before, so thank you for coming on here. I mean, many of you have been spot on in some of these cases. It's amazing. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to, why don't we do some more cards here? But this is a really interesting chart because of Virgo is, that can be where the chores are done. It can be the kitchen, where cleaning, where the cleaning supplies are. And I still think this is too late of a chart. I still like the 330 chart better, but it does look to me, you've got a group of people there right on that 12th house cusp. That's jail. And they are shocked. They are shocked. I think it's because they're going to be shocked that there's evidence that, they didn't think of. So whoever they are. All right. Now, see what else. Can you give us a clarification on whether whether we're talking about a hospital here? Is there any indication that Sebastian is near a hospital? All right, let's keep going. Oh, yes, darling, that's right. That's right. He was taking out the garbage, and Pluto is garbage. So, Pluto's in the 11th house, trining Virgo. I'm afraid to say that Moon opposing Neptune is someone who's drinking. I mean, I think that's the basis here. It all began with Pisces, which is alcoholism or an addiction or just drinking a lot. I'm afraid that's the case. At least it's pointing to that. Okay. And now I'm going to add, is Sebastian near St. Jude? Oh, this popped out. Wow. 8 of Wands. Hold on. 8 of Wands reversed. What does that mean? 8 of Wands reversed? Well, it's Scorpio, it's 8, it's jealousy, it's what does it have to do with St. Jude's though? Yeah, I know, Lacey. A landfill in Kentucky, right? So we did see Pluto in there. Hey, Ren. 8 of Wands near St. Jude's, Memphis. Okay, so let's look. That's weird. The picture that comes up is a lot of colors, like the 8 of Wands. Isn't that weird? It's kind of. Let me show you. Hold on. That's weird. Okay. Okay, so this is a research hospital. So, that's 8. That's 8. That's research. All right, so they're going to have to take a look at cameras. That's the other thing about Pisces. You can guarantee that there is video. There is video of this. So it's been a little while, but there's still a possibility that people around here might have some CCTV of February 25th, 26th here. Mississippi River Park, Riverside Drive. It seems like the number 8 is a clue, but that could be the research side of it. So I guess those are really 2 areas here, the hospital and then also that Red River area could be a good place. But we're looking for a park, remember? And it would seem like it would have to be a big park. So here's a park on Riverside Road or Riverside Drive. Could it have been? Wait a minute. This isn't the Red Bridge, is it? Wait a minute. That's not that bridge. I'm talking about this one. It's hard to tell. Hold on. One second. There's supposed to be 2 buildings that are going to be 15 floors, and news about the approval was to start 8/2023. I know, Empress Black Tarot. How are you doing? Great to see you. Horn Lake by the campground. Okay. Lots of 8s during the event. I know. I was looking at Mud Island too. Okay. Yeah, Roberto, you're saying you think there's a lot of CCTV too. I agree. And it's possible that some of these, some of this GoFundMe money will help these private investigators as they bill, for their time, and they're going around asking for more video. But I think we're going to see some video, guys. I really do. And yeah, I know we are up late. So we want to see Leo clues, we want to see Mercury, so twin stuff. Um I just don't like this chart. Um, I just think it's after the fact, I think it was a couple hours before this, but it's hard to say. Now, it's amazing how with the moon and Pluto, it always shows very famous, and sure enough, there have been people who would fit that moon description who would be very, very, very famous. Yet they would try to disappear, which would be the opposition to Neptune, which is trying to disappear. And interesting with this chart too, I always like to look at the second house because it's money. And look how the second house is ruled by Mars. And Mars is in the 12th house of secrets with Venus. This is online money, but it's squaring Jupiter. Almost like it's either too much money, or Jupiter can also represent Sebastian because Jupiter represents an adolescent. So this is an adolescent that has value, which I hate to say it that way. And these people, whoever they are trying, it would seem with this chart, they are trying to extract some kind of value here, which they cannot. So that's at least some good news. And they're fighting like crazy. Mars, this is a big online money fight. And I think it's the big theme here. I really think that. Interesting too, the 8th house cusp is in Libra, which means a couple. A couple has the secrets here. So, and we saw in past crimes where, was it JC? Years and years ago, she was abducted by a couple JC Dugard, abducted by a couple and taken, and she survived, but it was many years. I don't think that's the case here, but there was a couple involved in that one. So, it looks like the 8th house of the murderers or of the perpetrators, because you could have 7th or 8th house as the perpetrators. They're going to have Virgo and Libra, Virgo and Libra profile. So Virgo, so much about clothing though. I think this is another clue here. And what did we do? We talked a lot about clothing up until now in the weeks following this mystery, this mysterious disappearance. And this is white clothing. We're always talking about black clothing, right? There's something about clothing. Why don't we pull a card about the clothing? What are you guys getting? I know. That one, just unbelievable and so, so sad. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Siri J. Mhm. Okay, that's a good one. Nurses, okay. Melanie, you say there are only two reasons you don't look for something. Either they know where he is or they don't care. White clothes, doctors and nurses. Oh my God. Sometimes. Actually, most of the time, right? I've been in the hospital this past week, and not for myself, but I have been noticing the colors. It's weird. You sit around, you're waiting, and you're like, God, everything looks aqua around here. Everything's painted, teal, and it's like so weird. Okay, um, so we're talking about clothing. Oh yeah, we were going to go to. I'm going to talk about the clothing. All right, so let me put these aside. And can we get some kind of clue? Spirit, give us some kind of indication of why we're getting clothing. It almost, with moon in Virgo, that can be famous clothing. Like, in other words, something was found. And you know what? They were thinking that, I guess they got his glasses, but they weren't his glasses. So something like that, where something comes up about his clothing. Can you give us some kind of clue about um, Sebastian's clothing and how it affects or is featured in this case? All right, it's Two of Wands. Okay, I would say that would be in his home. Maybe making a decision. Two of Wands. Cult vibes. That's interesting. Virgo is also known for doctors too, right? Healthcare. Thank you. Playing it safe, travel long distance. Oh, because of that globe. Good one, Empress Black Tarot. Not going anywhere, but dreaming of long distance, or that this could be a long distance. This could be a long distance clue. Metal museum. There's a metal museum on Mississippi River, 11 minutes from St. Jude. Interesting. Maybe even clothes being taken, the whole shoe thing. Yes. Okay, so holding on to something. So someone's holding on to the clothing. Okay. All right, so let's ask Spirit for a clarification on the clothing clue. What is happening? And sometimes there's a lot of females in this deck, isn't there? But this is a dark-haired female. The 2 is an inactive card leading to the 3, which is movement. So something about clothing before travel. Okay. Very interesting. All right, so can you give us a clarification card on this clothing? Why? I mean, it is really prominent. There are a lot of planets and points, especially Black Moon Lilith. There is somebody, whoa. You know what this reminds me of? Remember OJ and the shoes? And there's a picture of him, and he's like, I didn't have any Bruno Mollies. And they were like, yes, you did. Well, this kind of reminds me of something like that. Is this is this clue about clothing? Does it have to do with the perpetrator? Not just Sebastian. The hermit. Oops. Okay, clothes taken by PD. And she has shoes on. I know. Isn't that weird, Bella? Yeah, we talked about that last time. Both times that he was talking. Yeah, it's a good point. And so the hermit, what would that be when it comes to the clothing? There's water there. Stairs. This is somebody's pajamas. This person's in their pajamas. So I think, you know what? That's pajamas, because Neptune is opposing. Neptune is sleep plus Virgo. That's pajamas. Okay. So, I mean, what can we glean from this? Well, there's a possibility that just looking at this case, that the pajamas will come into the conversation. Water over stairs like a bridge. Attic, yes. Robe. Hidden clothing, hidden. Yeah. Sheets, good point. Sheets. Yeah, the like bed clothes. That's what it is. Bed clothing. Because of that Neptune opposing the 7th house. Maybe they did. I don't know. I know it's too much. Simple and minimal clothing. Hermit is also home. More home. Are you kidding me? All right. So I guess what I want to say here is that we have a lot of clues right in the backyard, right at home. There's a lot there. The child's up high. In reading, I saw sheets washing. Yes. And remember, the mattress was delivered too. So that's another clue. Okay. God, you guys, everybody pray for Sebastian tonight. It just makes me so sad. Okay. Well, we don't know. I guess hopefully we're going to find out. We'll find out something. Yeah, I know. It is. It is. All right. So I hope to see you guys tomorrow, 9 Eastern. We're going to be talking about Idaho, and I hope you come on. And great to see everybody. There's so many great psychics on here tonight. Great to see you all. Thanks for coming on, Grammy. And yeah, I don't know if he got a new motorcycle. We got to validate that, but it seems like everybody's, that might be true. I'm going to have to look that up. But so far, everybody's talking about how the couple were in the motorcycle shop. Maybe they were asking about doing a ride. I'm not sure. But if people start buying things, the radar goes up. Thanks, Toy. Great to see everybody. I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. We're going to be talking about the new clues that are coming in. And we're going to talk about Koberger's alibi and what we can expect next. So thanks again, everybody. And don't forget, I've got a special with my readings. So astrology.as.me. And you can come on that site and just pick a reading, but got a really great special this week. So hopefully you guys can take advantage of it. And we will see you tomorrow. Thanks again, guys.